What's up everyone? In today's video we're going to make some carnivore-ish crab cakes. So let's get started. So to make today's recipe we're going to need a few ingredients, nothing too specialized though. To make these crab cakes we're going to just use some canned crab meat here. Now you always want to check the ingredients. This is the cleanest one I could find in the store kind of thing. You just want to make sure it's not packed in seed oils kind of thing. We've got 2 eggs we're going to add to it, and then I've got some pork rinds that I've crumbled up in a blender kind of thing, just to make as a binder for these crab cakes. Now these aren't chaffles like I usually make, so we're gonna try and make actual sort of carnivore-ish type crab cakes. Everything you see here is carnivore. Where it gets a little bit away from it is we're gonna add some of this lemon dill seasoning here. As you can see, it's just this mix here, and we're going to add some salt and pepper to the mix as well. If you wanted these to be carnivore, you could eliminate the lemon dill seasoning and the pepper and just stick with salt if you're that strict with carnivore kind of thing. And you could make these as chaffles if you really wanted to, but I figured, might as well make something different this week. So let me get all this ready and we'll start mixing this up. Okay, so we've got our crab meat and the 2 eggs in the bowl here that we can start to mix up. Now obviously this is canned crab meat, so it's not going to be the best quality crab meat. I understand that, and you're always going to be best off if you can get fresh ingredients when you're doing recipes like this, but for the sake of this video we're just going to use what we could find. So we're going to get the eggs and crab meat mixed up as well as we can here kind of thing. You could also do this in a mixer just to make sure it's all well mixed together, but again, for the sake of this video we're just going to do it by hand. So what we'll do is we'll add in our lemon and dill seasoning here. Now this is about a teaspoon of the seasoning. It's enough to give it a good flavor. And then we're going to add salt and pepper. Now seasoning is always sort of to your personal taste. It's, if you want more seasoning in it, then by all means you could add more. If you want less or you don't want any, well then that'll work too. And of course this is just a basic recipe. Just to give you some ideas of things to try, that's what I'm here for. That's sort of what I aim for with all my recipe videos, is just to give you some ideas and then let you sort of run with it from there and make it your own, because ultimately that's what we all enjoy, is having things that we enjoy ourselves. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add in some of these pork rinds, the pork rind breadcrumbs, for lack of a better word. We'll just add a little bit at a time until we get sort of a thicker consistency in it. Now you can always, I'm pretty sure in a lot of places you can buy actual pork rind panko as they call it, so it's just pre-crumbled pork rinds, but that doesn't seem to be something I can find here in Canada, or at least I haven't found it yet. So I just take some pork rinds, just some plain pork rinds with no flavoring, and then I just blitz them up in a food processor just to make my own breadcrumbs, or pork rind bread or crumbs, so to speak. Of course they will add a bit of flavor to whatever you put them in, so you have to be aware of that, but I don't mind the flavor of the breadcrumbs. So it looks like we're probably going to wind up adding all of the pork rinds in here. Again, we want to be able to have a mix that will stay together when we cook it. So what we're going to do is, instead of doing the usual, Dash Mini method of cooking things tonight, we're just going to make these in a small sort of 5 or 6 inch frying pan, and we'll just put some butter in there first and we'll cook them up that way, just to do something different. I know some people might be getting tired of all the chaffle recipes I do, but it's not to say that I'm going to stop making chaffles, but I just wanted to do something a little different this week. So that looks pretty good. Everything's well mixed in. So what we'll do is we'll get moved over and we'll start cooking these up in this small frying pan. I'm not sure how many we're going to get out of this mixture, probably 3 or 4 kind of thing. And then yeah, we'll get set up and we'll start cooking. Okay, so we've got some butter melted in our small saucepan here. I'm just going to turn it down to about medium heat. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in some of our crab cake mix here into the middle of it. Sort of spread it out a little bit. Want to keep them fairly thick kind of thing, thickness of a pancake kind of thing, and I don't want to make them too big. So that's about it for each one. Turn the heat up a little bit. We want to make sure we brown these on each side. So we'll give these a couple minutes to cook on this side, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to flip them. Okay, so this first crab cake's been cooking for a couple of minutes, sort of around medium heat. Of course, everybody's stovetop is going to be a little bit different, so just have to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. So let's give this a flip and see what that first side looks like. So yeah, it looks nice and golden brown and crispy. So we'll cook the other side here and I'll bring you back when it's ready to plate. Okay, so this crab cake here is cooked. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put that out on a plate. That's the first one done. I'm not going to bore you with cooking the rest of them. What I'll do is I'll get them all cooked up and we'll come back and give them a try. Okay, so here's our crab cakes all done. I wound up getting sort of 2 full-size crab cakes and one a little bit smaller. It's pretty much what I figured we get out of it. They're nice and dense. They smell good. You can see they're nice and golden brown on both sides. So overall, happy with the way they turned out as far as the way they look. Let's open one up here so you can see the crab meat in the middle there. They still seem fairly sort of moist in the middle, but yeah, it's definitely giving off crab cake looks on it, kind of thing. So let's give these a try here. Like I say, this isn't something I've done very often. I think I've only done it once before. So I wanted to give it a try for you guys and see how it turns out. So let's give this a try. Yeah, so it definitely has some really good crab flavor in there, and you can tell the get the lemon and dill that I added to it as well. Nice kick of pepper and the salt. So again, you could make these carnivore if you wanted to. I'm not carnivore for the most part, so that's why I like to add seasoning to things like this. So that's about it. I would give these a good thumbs up, and hopefully you give them a try. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We release a new recipe video every Saturday, and we go live on Thursday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And that's about it for this week. Hope you enjoyed. keep on thriving, my friends.